All right, everybody, buckle up. I'm going to take you into the history books. It was on April 15th, 1947, that a kid from Cairo, Georgia, made his Dodgers debut in front of 26,000 fans at Ebbets Field. That kid went hitless in his debut, but did reach base, scoring the go-ahead run in a win. Now, fast forward to 2025, 77 years later, and that kid known as Jackie Robinson is honored all around Major League Baseball. The league annually celebrates this day by having players all around the league wear his number 42. Now, Robinson began his baseball career in the Negro Leagues with the Kansas City Monarchs back in 1945, and Kansas City is where we find the president of the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum and friend of the show, Bob Kendrick. Bob, thank you so much for taking the time to join us, my friend.
Man, it's so good to catch back up with you. Thanks for having me.
Of course, always a pleasure. Now, Bob, I do want to ask you, Jackie had to be the right guy to do this, right? He wasn't the best player in the Negro Leagues at the time, but he was the right guy and had to be the right guy. Why is that?
Because failure was not an option. Yeah, there was no opportunity to fail here. The first guy cannot fail, Julian. If the first guy fails, there is no second guy. So Branch Rickey had a double difficult task of identifying the right guy. It's because if Jackie Robinson can't take the abuse, the experiment is over. If Jackie can't play, the experiment is over. And who knows how much longer it would have been before another black man would have gotten the opportunity to play in the major leagues. And the second side of this is the fact that not only was he dealing with tremendous social adversity, but he was also carrying the hopes and aspirations of 21 million black folks who were counting on him to succeed. Yeah, no, we were counting on him to succeed.
100%. I want to ask you because it's not just African-American history, and you talk about it all the time. This is American history. Martin Luther King Jr. said without Jackie Robinson, he wouldn't be able to do anything that he did, right? And you often say Jackie wasn't part of the civil rights movement. He started the civil rights movement. Explain that.
We make the rather bold assertion that Jackie's breaking of the color barrier wasn't just a part of the civil rights movement, that it was actually the beginning of the civil rights movement in this country. This is 1947. So it predates those more noted civil rights occurrences. So this is before Brown versus the Board of Education. This is before Rosa Parks' refusal to move to the back of the bus. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., as my dear friend, the late great Buck O'Neill would so eloquently say, was merely a sophomore at Morehouse College in Atlanta, Georgia, when Jackie signed his contract to play in the Dodgers organization. And our very own President Harry S. Truman, born right up the road from where the museum operates, Independence, Missouri, would not integrate the armed forces until a year after Jackie. So for all intensive purposes, this is what started the ball of social progress rolling in our country, baseball. And our country literally jumped on the coattail of baseball.
Bob, as we look around right now at the social landscape, how important is it that we remember Jackie Robinson? What pride do you see looking out and seeing all those major leaguers wear Jackie's number?
Well, Major League Baseball and the Players Association have done a tremendous job to make sure that Jackie's not forgotten. And because I've oftentimes said, for those who subscribe to the belief that one individual cannot invoke change, they need to look no further than Jackie Robinson. What he did that day was so monumental, April 15th, 1947, that it literally changed things for the better in this country. And he should be celebrated. And the league that gave us Jackie Robinson, the Negro Leagues, should also be celebrated.
I do have to ask you, Bob, it's 3 years in now. When you were just a kid idolizing all these players, did you ever think that you would be part of a video game? And how is this video game, MLB The Show, which you guys are in your third season of, how is that helping kids learn about the game? But to my original question, did you ever think you'd be in a video game, Bob?
No. I saw myself doing a lot of things. I never dreamt that I would be in a video game. It has turned me into a household name in the gaming community. And as I mentioned prior, Julian, it's one of the biggest things this museum has ever done was the inclusion of the Negro Leagues in the video game MLB The Show, the biggest baseball video game in the world, because millions upon millions of young people and young adults are not only learning about the Negro Leagues, but they're falling in love with the Negro Leagues. And that's exactly what we wanted to have happen. So I'm seeing kids flood the museum because they saw the museum in the video game. And Julie, they want to meet the guy that's telling the stories in the video game.
Well, you know what? Hey, you are a good guy to meet. You're on my bucket list. I get to talk to you over Zoom, but I would love to meet you in person. Also, here's something that I did. I wanted to jump into my research just for you, Bob, and pull something out about Jackie Robinson, right? This guy was a all-sport athlete, right? Also served in the military. I didn't know he was so smooth with his lines, apparently writing to his wife. He was quite the man talking to his wife, and even wrote in there, "When I see you, I feel like I can take the world on all over again." Jackie was smooth with the ladies too.
Hey man, we could all learn something from Jackie.
Jackie Robinson, great on the sports field, great civil rights icon, also great there. Also apparently enjoyed a good steak dinner and would actually have a steak dinner over everything else. Bob, what should people know? I'm going to give you one last thing. Give us a fun fact. So I pulled one out of my pocket. So give me a fun fact about Jackie we may not know.
Well, when he got to Kansas City, he fell in love with everything that Kansas City is famous for: barbecue and jazz. He liked the ribs at a place called Old Kentucky Barbecue. Old Kentucky Barbecue become the forerunner of the great Gates barbecue chain of restaurants that are world renowned here in Kansas City to this day. And I'm going to say he fell deeper in love with jazz, but as I remind folks, while New Orleans may lay claim to jazz, Kansas City gave jazz its soul. And 5 months later, Julian, he was gone. He had literally disappeared. His teammates had no idea where he was. And of course, we know that he was meeting with Branch Rickey, where they would make the tremendous decision that he would become the chosen one to break baseball's 6-decade-long self-imposed color barrier.
Well, Bob Kendrick, if Kansas City gave jazz its soul, you keep the soul alive with the Negro League Baseball Museum. We appreciate you, my friend. Can't wait for you to make a visit to Charlotte because you promised me before we got on there you're going to do that. So, Bob, be easy, and we'll see you here in the Queen City pretty soon, okay?
Hey, man, I'm looking forward to you. Thank you so much for having me, as always.
My pleasure, as always, Bob.